Well, we're at the end of the first week of school here in Lafayette Parish, and we've talked about in-person versus virtual learning and how COVID does or doesn't fit in the mix. News 15's Princess JHANÉ STEPHERSON-LOWRY is live tonight with the one thing we hadn't touched on. Princess?
That's right, Jeff. You know, we've touched on the medical staff, parents, even grandparents, asked everyone here in Lafayette how they feel about students going back to in-person learning. But what about the kids? Doctors, parents, and grandparents. I've talked to them all when it comes to their concerns about going back to school during our state's fourth COVID surge.
I did go to private school as a kid, and I tried private school again a couple years ago, but I think homeschool is where I belong.
But I haven't spoken to those most affected, the kids. That's until I met middle schoolers Noah, Madeline, and Isabella. Having gone through curriculums at home and in the classroom, Noah Barra thinks home is a better environment. She says she gets the same opportunities.
Schools are opening their doors to kids, to homeschool kids who want to play sports, who want to get involved in clubs. There's also just things that aren't related to school, like Christian youth theater.
After the Louisiana Association of Superintendents said that all school districts in the state had to return to in-person learnings, a lot of mixed emotions began to arise. Some parents felt like they didn't have a choice in the matter, and they didn't. Madeline Adams has been homeschooled her whole life, but doesn't see a difference with learning in person or at home.
It really just depends on the kid, because I mean, like, you can learn the same over Zoom or whatever as you could in school. It just depends on the personality and how they learn.
Others disagree, saying it's more than a lesson or trying to stay free from COVID. Sometimes it's about the worry of having a positive or negative interaction with others.
It's not necessarily with COVID, but just like other stuff. I don't really want to get beat up at public schools, so I'd rather stay home.
Now, the one thing that all three young ladies can agree on is that they get to perform all of their lessons and activities at their own pace at home. Live in Lafayette, I'm Princess JHANÉ STEPHERSON-LOWRY, News 15.
Thanks, Princess. Well, now, as mentioned earlier, parents don't have a choice on their kids returning to school in person unless their child has a medical necessity. Even then, that child must have passed their courses successfully in the previous year. Now, this goes for all Louisiana districts.